Okay. Hey there, this is Heather Gill with Places to Go with Heather Gill. In this episode of People to Know, I want to introduce you to the incredible Luis Puente. He works in the health and wellness industry, and man, he's got something very interesting for us today. Let me introduce him, get him going here. All right, Luis Puente, tell us a little bit about this health and wellness thing you're doing.
Well, hello, everybody, and thank you very much, Heather, for having me here in your program.
Sure thing.
The reason we are here is because I actually did discover something that's really, truly important, and I think everybody needs to know about it. Just last year, my mom got very, very sick, and I thought I almost lost her. But thanks to some products that are in the field of nutrigenomics, so that's the latest and most advanced technology in terms of our health and nutrition. My mom is here with us now, and she's doing everything she wants to do, and she's doing much, much better than she was back when I saw her last year around this time.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So before we jumped on here to record today, you had mentioned something called cellular activators. So what is that, and why is it important to us?
Okay, yes, the very differences between supplementation and activation, that's what we're talking about. So we go to the pharmacy and buy all these supplements. We need antioxidants and iron and all this stuff. And some of those things are very useful. But most of them, what we normally take without any science behind it, no backing. So we don't know whether we should take one pill or two or 10,000 to get the results we want. And we actually end up spending our money uselessly because a friend of mine says that it's actually converting into very expensive urine, which is true because we will get rid of vitamins, we will get rid of anything our body doesn't need. Now, what is a cellular activator? Well, what they do is that they, through nutrition, they go into your body and activate those genes that need to be turned back on to help your body do what it needs to do. And funny thing is that when we turn 20, before that we're happy and we can just stay up late and don't sleep for a couple of days. We go out to party and we just have the most fun and we're fine the next day. Everything's working so well. I mean, we can eat the whole world. But after that, after we turn 20, then we get tired. Then we have to go to bed early. Then we have aches and pains. Why is that? Well, because our genes have been turned off. Why? We don't know. That's just our nature. They just turn off. And that's when the aging process begins and it gets accelerated. So then we start seeing the signs in our skin or, in our inability to stay up late or do what we need to do or even do the things we would like to do, like we want to do. Some people do sports and then they find themselves with aches and pains and inflammation and then they can't do as before. They can't perform anymore like athletes. And that's because those genes need to be turned back on to help us do what we want.
Okay. So it's not just like a supplement. Like, I do take a multivitamin, which, I feel like helps somewhat, right? But it sounds like what you're talking about goes maybe even further than just a multivitamin would go. So it actually penetrates deeper into the body, I guess?
Yes. I'm not saying that supplements are bad at all because we need something to be supplemented. For example, we cannot produce iron ourselves. So we need that iron brought in from our food or from other sources like supplements. And things of this nature like zinc and mineral salts and all these other things. But there are certain things like, for example, antioxidants. Our body is a factory of antioxidants. It can do that on its own. The thing is, we need to activate those genes that produce them. And that's the reason these products are so powerful because what they want to do and what they achieve is they activate the genes in your body in each cell. And then that turns on your natural antioxidants. And then you can see a big difference. And you can even measure it. And there are measures for this, scientific measures for them. For example, if you buy an antioxidant in the store, one molecule of that will get rid of one free radical. That's what you want to get rid of with antioxidants, free radicals. And this cellular activator turns on a pathway called NRF2. That's just the name for the nuclear respiratory factor. That's what it's called. And
Okay.
what it turns on is these genes that produce your own antioxidants, which take care of one molecule of those, takes care of 1 million free radicals per second every day of your life if you
Really?
take them.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that is just amazing. And that's why my mom is here, because she was heavily poisoned by all the things that she was taking, all the medicines and the,
Mhm.
whatever she had
Right.
that was causing her harm. And with this activation, you could see that change in 4 days. It was just absolutely amazing. And I
Oh,
took pictures of that. I documented the whole thing because it was just truly amazing.
okay. Well, that's incredible. So I mean, if you don't have your health, what do you have, right? And
Exactly.
so to segue into some of the things that make you tick, some things that you're interested in, because it goes really hand in glove, I feel like, with what you're talking about. Health is important to you. You love Japan. You've been there several times. You know people from there. And then astrophysics is something you're very fascinated with. Would you just take a few minutes and tell us a little bit more about all this and why you're so interested?
Yes, well, health naturally, because of what I mentioned about my mom, that just brought
Right.
a natural interest in me. And since I saw those results in my mom, I just wanted to tell everybody, there is hope. There are things you can do. If you haven't found something good for you, well, you might try this out and just, see if it can do something for you. And I'm pretty sure it does. It will help because it helps 100% of mammals, 100% of the time. So
Okay.
it works not only with every single human on Earth. If you breathe, it helps you.
Okay.
And it also helps dogs, cats, horses, and cattle, and just every
Okay.
mammal on Earth, because it's just a
Wow.
very basic biological function that it helps us rebuild. That's one thing. And then Japan, just because I had so many friends in high school and I became a fan, I started learning Japanese, and
Okay.
I just got so involved that my mom wanted to kick me out of the house because she thought I was invaded by the Japanese.
That's hilarious.
And astrophysics, I had a chance to share that with my mom. My mom has lots of interests. And when she
Okay.
was staying with me here in Dallas, we would watch documentaries, 6 hour long documentaries together
Okay.
for physics. And she would get so involved. And we were just knowing about how the geometry of space works and
Right.
how every single cubic centimeter of space, or cubic inch if you want, of space
Okay.
is just filled with enormous, infinite energy potential that we can tap into, and that I think will be the future of energy in the future, in our lives.
Oh wow. Okay.
Very amazing stuff.
So now, so just to come back around real quick, so you got involved with this particular product because your mom had gotten ill, and she got ill, and then you were able to help her get in touch with this, and that's really kind of what helped to turn the tides. And she's still doing well today, then.
Yes, much better now than back then. Every
Okay.
day she gets better. Even her hair is turning a little color, which is
Oh
fine.
yeah. Oh wow.
Her spots, age spots, they're called. Mine disappeared from my hands,
Yeah.
and my mom's are just going. My mom is very blonde, so she's
Okay.
got freckles all over the place, and
Um,
now those are going. It's amazing. I had never seen her so clear.
wow, that's incredible.
And my mom is 87.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
we're not talking about a young chick here. I mean, a little bit older, but that's incredible, because a lot of people, the age spots start coming and they just consider it a part of aging and don't think about it any further, right?
Right. Yes, and we're living longer lives thanks to medicine, which is great.
We are.
Unfortunately, because of all the stress in our lives, not just neurological stress, emotional stress, stress at work, stress in traffic, all that stuff is hurting us. It's causing something that is very important. It's very damaging to our body. It's called oxidative stress.
Right.
And that stress comes from our poisoned food, fast food, air, polluted air, the water we drink, all the nutrition in our food is gone. So all those things are causing this damage to our body. In addition to that, we have our lifestyle. So all this hurrying, going back and forth,
Right.
bringing the kids taking them to school, bring them to the gym, and then going back to another activity.
Right.
All this stuff is just hurting us terribly. And if we exercise, there's even more damage. So it's
Right.
natural. This damage is natural. The problem is if we don't control it, that leads into severe health conditions. So we need to take antioxidants, but the right kind of antioxidants, with cellular activators that
Okay.
produce your own antioxidants. And you cannot buy them in the store. You see, those things your body produces, they cannot be bought at the store. You cannot buy a box of superoxide dismutase or a box of glutathione or catalase, which are the three main enzymes that work in your bodies to neutralize those antioxidants. You need to produce them yourself. So you need to activate your genes. That's how it works. That's the magic.
Okay. Well, it's very fascinating. So definitely food for thought. But speaking of food, I have my bonus question for you. And it is related to food. Okay, so the question is this: steak, chicken, pork, or seafood, and why?
Okay, I think because of now I'm in the health field,
Right.
so I think we need to have a good mixture of all of them because they have different omegas and fatty acids and different reasons for eating each one of them. The seafood, for example, complements our diet. So I would say all of them, but I would prefer just to eat some steak, a little more chicken, and some seafood. That's my diet.
All right.
Some pork if it's Japanese food.
Right. Yes. Pork belly is pretty popular, I think, in Japan, right?
Well, pork belly is also popular in Mexico, like chicharrón. It's like it's fried. Oh my God, that's awesome with green sauce. That's fantastic. But in Japan, they serve all this food made from Japan imported food from the Portuguese, the English, and the Spanish.
Okay.
Back from 200 years ago or a little more, and those staples of food from Europe became part of and features of today's Japanese food. And we eat them normally, and we believe they're Japanese, but actually not. They were imported from Europe, just with the twist that makes them taste so wonderfully.
Now you're making me hungry. It's almost time for lunch, and I'm feeling.
Oh yeah, it's almost time for lunch. Yeah.
I'm ready for it. All right. So for y'all watching, Luis is a great guy. I think he's found something very fascinating that could help people for sure. So his information is there on the screen. His email, you can send him an email at theoriesofaging@gmail.com, and he'll get back with you and help you figure this out and help you get it ordered. He'll help you get going on that. So with that being said, Luis, what is your word of wisdom to leave us today?
I think the best thing I could tell you is you need to take care of your health today, and you don't need to worry about death and taxes. You need to worry about your health and your finances.
Okay.
That's what we can do. The rest we cannot control. But your health, you can control.
Right. No, for sure. Well, absolutely. It was a pleasure having you on today. I appreciate your time. And thanks.
Thank you very much.